just wanted to touch on some signs to look for if you think that a nail salon or any place possibly gave you an infection. I went to a nail salon and I wound up losing the tip of my finger. And they tried to make it seem like I wasn't there and they didn't do shit. And yeah, that just solidifies my decision to stop supporting Asian businesses anyway. Because them not sterilizing their tools and not cleaning their tools properly led to me losing the tip of my finger. And that just goes to show how much they care about our safety. And even with like the restaurants and like the Chinese foods and stuff, like how many times were we served to cats and rats and pigeons? Honestly speaking, I really believe that we should just keep the dollar in our community, and we can support others, but let's just be strong about our own people. Let's go strong. Let's keep the money in our own communities.
Imagine you just want to get a simple service and you walk into an Asian nail salon hoping to leave feeling happy, feeling confident, and looking your best, but instead you end up fighting for your health and eventually lose part of your body, losing part of your finger. I mean, that is a shocking story this black girl is sharing as the boycott of Asian owned businesses continues to spark debate as black Americans are switching to black owned products. Now, today we are going to let her explain exactly what really happened step by step in her own words from the day she got her nails done to the painful medical journey that followed. She also explains, the warning signs and symptoms she experienced, signs that many people might ignore until it's too late. So this isn't just about, her story. It's also something we really need to pay attention to, because it could also be an important lesson for anyone who visits, nail salon. So stay with us until the end and let's listen carefully to everything she has to say, and then decide for yourself what lessons, can be learned from this video. Otherwise, let's dive into this. If this is your first time, please subscribe for more of these, good, discussions. Let's learn something out of her story.
Hey you guys, I wasn't gonna do this, but I had some friends and family actually talk me into doing this because this can kind of like help some people out, especially the girlies that love to go get their nails done and who often visit nail salons. So about a month ago, roughly, I went to a nail salon and I got my nails done. I was feeling pretty. I wanted to, get my nails done to set my outfit off and my day off. And I had just been really sick the week before, so I finally was feeling better and I wanted to, go get my nails done. A couple days later, I started feeling like a little tingly in my right middle finger, obviously, and I didn't think anything of it. So like I just kind of brushed it off, like I thought it was something that'd just go away, like whatever. And by that Sunday, my finger had actually gotten extremely swollen, and it was really painful, really painful. And so for me, someone who don't like hospitals, I was like, I'm gonna wait it out and maybe hopefully it'll just go away. So after 2 days, I was still very much in pain, enough pain to cry. I couldn't move my finger was stuck, and I was like, okay, this has to be serious. This is not anything minor. This is not going away. So I went to the emergency room. In the emergency room, they were they gave me some pain medicine, and they kind of was like, hey, you might have something called flexor tendon something. I don't know. These words are so big. And they wanted me to see a hand specialist, which they didn't have at that hospital, so I had to actually be transferred to another hospital. So at that other hospital, I wound up, getting seen by the physician, and he was like, what? Actually the hand specialist, to be more specific, he was like, what, I'm gonna keep you overnight and I'm gonna put you on some antibiotics and see how you do tomorrow. So next day the doctor comes and kind of evaluates at my finger, and he makes the conscious decision that the antibiotic wasn't working and that we have to make an incision and actually drain the pus drain the pus out, because it was very much fat, and like there was like a bubble in the front of my finger here, and he was like, we're gonna, make an incision, and we're gonna drain it and clean it, and so forth. After that procedure, they, kind of put me back on the antibiotic and, monitored me for another night. Next day come around, they come and look. I'm still very much in pain. It's still very much inflamed. Oh, that rhymes. But he was like, you know what? I don't like how this look. I'm taking you to surgery. You're going to the OR. Now, I had never ever in my life been in surgery. I had never in my life been put to sleep, so I was nervous. When I got to the OR room, like the surgery room, they were like, you are nervous. My heartbeat got up to like 150. I was like, oh my gosh, like, I hope I wake up. I don't like this. I don't like being put to sleep without me being sleepy. But yeah, so they actually did the surgery, and they wound up removing my nail. They wound up making multiple incisions on the back of my middle finger. So the infection was like in my nail, but I guess so much time had passed, it actually had traveled down my finger. So they made an incision. This looks bad, so I'm not gonna show you this, but they made an incision like right here and like right here, and they kind of flushed it, cleaned it out, whatever, and and that was it. I think one of the most traumatic parts of that surgery was that they actually did not stitch my my incisions. They actually left my incisions open and had to pack them with like some type of gauze or packing strips that they use to actually keep my wounds open, so that if there was still infection that they had missed by any chance, that it could come out through the packing strips, and the wound being open, it'll just come out. And that had to be changed multiple times a day. So they were taking it out my wound. I'm freshly out of surgery. They're taking my packings out, putting new ones in, and I'm very much in pain. So, fast forward, they let me go home on antibiotics. I had a post-op appointment that following week, which I went to, and then the doctor, he evaluated my finger some more, and he was like, I'm admitting you again. So after they admitted me for the second time, they was afraid that there might have still been some infection in there, and this time it was very aggressive. It was very angry that we were trying to get rid of it. So it got worse. They wound up doing another procedure, which they made more incisions in my finger. They flushed it out. They cut a lot of like dead skin off from the first procedure. I had a lot of dead skin, and they cut it. It just looked crazy. Maybe I'll attach some pictures, but basically the doctor, after he did all that, I'm like, all right, like, patch me up so I can go. And he looks at me, he's like, did the other doctor talk to you about me maybe having to amputate the top of your, like the tip of your finger? So I looked at him like, amputate? Like, what? So I'm completely taken back by this. I instantly started crying because I look a mess right now, but I'm a woman that is about my looks. Like, I love to feel confident and pretty, and I like to get my nails and I like to get my hair done. And when he told me that, my confidence instantly was shot, like instantly. And then I was just in a lot of pain as well, like mentally going through this. Like I was very stressed out even with the first procedure. So for him to come and tell me that the top of my finger might have to be amputated, that was like kind of like the deal breaker for me. Fast forward, so they kept me in the hospital to monitor me for a few days to make sure that this aggressive bacteria infection basically just did not, it didn't spiral, like, because honestly, I could have lost my hand, it could have spread, I could have lost my arm. So I was really grateful for that. So they wound up sending me home, and here I am now telling my story. I have to do physical therapy. The top of my finger, the infection completely ate the tissue at the top of my finger, so there's no skin, there's no nail. Right now I have something called dry gangrene, which could be deadly or dangerous if it's wet per se. Like, so I have to keep it dry. I do it twice a day. I use some Benadryl to keep it dry so that it doesn't spread, or it's pretty much contained. And basically the top of my finger had to be amputated, but the doctor's like, hey, we can save most of your finger if if everything keeps going how it's going. And the body basically, it's something called auto amputation, where the body will sort of separate the dead part, and I could save most of my finger that way. Whereas if I got sick again, if the infection came back, they would have to surgically amputate the tip of, well, he said he would have to take more. So I'm like, all right, let's go the auto amputation part, because I don't want to lose most of I want to save as much as my finger as possible. So now I'm still on antibiotics. So tomorrow, I've been on antibiotics for the last 3 weeks, but I'm still on antibiotics. Tomorrow's the last day. So after that, I'll just monitor my finger, make sure it's not getting worse. And we're aiming for the auto amputation, for kind of let my body do its thing, unless things turn for the worse. I am in fact seeking legal actions, because this is complete negligence on the nail salon's part, and it's costing me a part of my finger at this point, and it's very devastating. I'm stressed out. I have children. I'm unable to do dishes. I can't really use my right hand. Granted, my other fingers work, but it just, I can't pick anything up. I can't really do nothing with it, because it'll all put that pressure and that pain on my finger, and I have to do physical therapy 2 to 3 times a week. So that's my story. You guys be safe. Make sure these nail salons are sanitizing their stuff when you go get your nails done. Hey guys, as you guys know, I lost the tip of my finger due to going to a nail salon and getting an infection, and it led to an amputation. I just wanted to touch on some signs to look for if you think that a nail salon or any place possibly gave you an infection in your nail. First symptom I got was a tingling feeling. So it's very easy to ignore. It wasn't painful. It was just a tingle, and it's just it was one of those things where it was it's not really something, if you're busy with your hands, then you can overlook it. Second symptom I got was a slight pain. So the pain started, but it wasn't ER visit bad, you know what I mean? It wasn't, oh, let me run to the hospital, especially if you don't know what's going on. If you never had anything happen like this, you don't know what this is. Another sign was worsening symptoms. So after the tingling and then that slight pain, and then it just goes full blown out swollen and pain. So once it gets to that swollen and pain part, that's when the hospital visit is needed. So I hope you guys got something out of this. I don't know, it's just a random post, spread awareness, to keep spreading awareness. Just make sure you guys be safe.
Now, imagine going through everything we just heard, brothers and sisters. I mean, all she wanted was to get her nails done in one of Asian nail salons. But according to her story, she ended up, spending weeks in hospitals, going through surgeries, physical therapy, and eventually losing the tip of her finger. We are talking of part of her body. If her account is accurate, that is an experience nobody would want to go through ever. And that's why stories like this deserve attention, not because anyone wants to attack an entire community, community of Asians, but because every customer deserves some safe and hygienic service, even if they are black people. Okay, it's not that when they are black people then they have to be careless. Now, one thing that really stands out is how, she carefully explained every story, from tangling feeling to the swelling to the emergency salon to surgery, and finally the warning signs everyone should pay attention to, because some of these signs we normally ignore until when it's too late. Now, while watching her story, I also noticed many people sharing their own experiences in the comment section. Somebody even said, I'm not gonna lie, I'm done being in plenty of nail shops over the years, and I can't remember too many times I've actually seen Asians clean their tools between customers. Most of the time, they finish one person's nails and go right to the next person. Maybe some salons sanitize them in the back, but as a customer, that's not something I've seen very often. Am I the only one who has noticed this? That is one person's observation. Like for that one, for her, she has never, seen these people clean the equipment after using. And it doesn't prove that every salon operates that way. Of course, let's have that sort of disclaimer, but it does show why customers care about seeing proper sanitation procedures, not only caring about their look at the end of the day, at the end of service, no, but even the process matters. And another person wrote, my cousin got an infection in one of her fingers from getting her nails done. Again, that's another experience, People are sharing their experiences. And it reminds us that infections, can happen regardless of, where somebody gets their nails done. Which is why cleanliness should never be taken lightly. It's not that I'm going there just to get the nails done and all I care about is that. I like that behavior of not wanting just the service done, but even the process should also matter, because at the end of the day, it's your life. So here, you really need to be careful how people treat you. Don't just look at how you will look at the end of the day. And another commentator also shared this. This happened to someone I know. He paid in cash for the service. 2 different lawyers told him that he did not have a burden of proof that he received a manicure at that nail shop. That also highlights another important lesson. Like, whenever possible, keep your receipts, save your payment records, and document everything wherever possible. Because if something goes wrong, having evidence, can make a huge difference, can save you. And finally, another person also commented, I've gotten a toenail fungus from an Asian salon and I had to have the nail completely removed and let it grow back. Now, whether that experience happened exactly as it described or not, but it shows, why many people take hygiene very seriously, especially when sharp tools are being used on their body. So, what exactly is the biggest lesson from this story? Let's have, some lessons we can have from this, because, some things happen so that other people should never go through that. I hope you get what I mean. Number one, never ignore any warning signs. This is so important. Tangling, unusual pain, swelling, redness, or pus, should be checked as soon as possible. Please, whenever you see some of these things, don't take it for granted. Visit clinic, visit doctors wherever possible, as soon as possible. Number 2, ask questions if you are unsure about hygiene practices. Yes, it's your money. Yes, you want the service, but it's your life at the end of the day. A reputable salon should have no problem explaining how its tools are cleaned and sanitized. How do you clean this? Okay, like somebody, one of the comment I read, said, she noticed that they just, move from one customer to the other without cleaning their tools. But I don't know, the question should be, did you ask, why are you doing this? So, always, it's your health at the end of the day. Okay, you don't have to go through what this lady went through. That's why she had to come open and explain, so that, her fellow Black Americans, should never go through this. And number 3 lesson should be, always keep records of your visit. Let's talk about the receipts, appointments, even photos can be valuable if a problem develops later. Because, you never know, you never know. Sometimes everything can look okay today, but what about in 2-3 days, in 2-3 weeks? So always, where possible, be on safe side. Number 4, seek medical attention early. Okay? Now, as this woman's story shows, waiting can allow infection to become much more, serious. It can, grow worse every single day, every single minute passes. It adds extra layer to its to the size of the problem. So here, as early as possible. And number 5 lesson is that every customer deserves profession and hygienic treatment, whether they are black, whether they are white, whether they are whatever skin color. At the end of the day, we are people. Every human being deserves, like self treatment. That's what really is an important thing. That's what matters. It doesn't matter who you are, no matter who they are, no matter where they come from, no matter, it doesn't matter. So always let's prioritize safety. Okay, if they cannot take care about your safety, please be responsible for your safety. Okay, always. Okay, ask for every tool used on your body where possible. Please ask, did you sanitize it? Yes, that can act like a provocative question, but no, don't worry that somebody will be offended by that question. It's your life. Because if you are not, what they will do later is just to say, I'm sorry, but your life is gone. Okay, they will say, I'm sorry. Yes, they may be fined, but what about your life? Can it be undone like we do on computer? Control Z, can we do that? It can't. So now, after listening to her entire story, we'd like to hear, your thoughts. Have you ever experienced any hygiene issue at any nail salon? We may not only talk about nail salons, but all shops, okay, all services. Okay, what do you think salons should do better to protect their customers? Share your opinions respectively in the comments below. And I know while black people are only going for black only services, black owned businesses. Okay, for black nail salons, I think we need to take these things seriously. Okay, may people never worry about you. Always, where possible, it's always good to save like 10 customers a day after you had the time to sanitize everything than saving 50 customers a day while ignoring, sanitizing your equipment, only to have, 30% of those customers, having infection, and then your business can overnight, be damaged, you see, because those people can sue you. You may end up paying huge fines that can definitely, corrupt your business. So, always let's prioritize safety first. I don't know what your take is, but I love that you came to watch the video. See you next time, and I'm proud of you.